All right, guys, let's continue on with the Quran. The Greeks of Byzantium. The Greeks of Byzantium. It's about 4.5 pages, and that's it. So, the Greeks of Byzantium. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Aleph Lam Mim. Aleph Lam Mim. The Greeks have been defeated in a neighboring land, but in a few years they shall themselves gain victory, such being the will of God before and after. The Greeks have been defeated in a neighboring land, but in a few years they shall themselves gain victory, such being the will of God before and after. On that day the believers will rejoice in God's help. He gives victory to whom he will, and he is the mighty one, the compassionate. That is God's promise. God will never break his promise, yet most do not know it. They know the outward show of this nether life, but of the life to come they are heedless. Have they not pondered within their own minds that God created the heavens and the earth and all that lies between them only for a worthy end and for an appointed term? Yet many deny they will ever meet their Lord. Have they never journeyed through the land and seen what was the fate of their forebears? Far mightier were they. They tilled the land and built upon it more than these have ever built, and to them too their apostles came with undoubted signs. God did not wrong them, but they wronged themselves. Evil was the end of those who did evil, because they had disbelieved God's revelations and derided them. God brings the creation into being and will then restore it. To him shall you be recalled. On the day the hour strikes, the wrongdoers will be speechless with despair. None of their idols will intercede for them. Indeed, they will deny their idols. So I want to say this. So in the beginning it says, the Greeks have been defeated in a neighboring land. So there's a little note right here. So the Greeks were defeated by the Persians in Syria in the year 615. So the Greeks were defeated in Persia, or by the Persians in Syria in 1615. Muhammad's sympathies were with the Christians, not with the idolatrous Persians. So I guess the Greeks are Christians. So Muhammad's sympathies were with the Christians. Interesting, right? Not with the idolatrous Persians. The Greeks must have been. Okay, so glory be to God in your evenings and in your mornings, and to him be praised in the heavens and the earth at your twilights and at your noons. He brings forth the living from the dead and brings forth the dead from the living. He resurrects the earth after its death. Likewise shall you be raised to life. He resurrects the earth after its death. By one of his signs he created you from dust, and behold, you became humans and multiplied throughout the earth. By another of his signs he created for you spouses from among yourselves, that you might live in peace with them, and between you planted love and kindness. Surely there are signs in this for people who reflect, and among his signs are the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the diversity of your tongues and colors. Interesting, right? Surely in this there are signs for all mankind. Diversity and color. By another sign of his, you sleep at night and seek by day his bounty. Surely there are signs in this for those who can hear. Lightning is yet another of his signs, inspiring you with fear and hope. He sends down water from the sky, and with it he quickens the earth after its death. Surely in this there are signs for those that are of sense possessed. And by another of his signs, heaven and earth stand firm at his bidding. Then when with one shout he summons you out of the earth, lo, you shall be raised. To him belongs whosoever is in the heavens and the earth. All are obedient to him. They obey him, and he it is who brings the creation into being and will then restore it. That is easier for him. His is the most exalted attribute in the heavens and the earth, and he is the Almighty, the Wise One. He makes you this comparison drawn from your own lives. Do your slaves share with you on equal terms what we have given you? Do you fear them as you fear one another? Thus do we expound our revelations to people who understand. Indeed, the wrongdoers are led unwittingly by their own appetites. And who can guide those who God has led astray? There shall be none to succor them, to support them, to help them. Therefore, stand firm in your devotions to the true religion. which God created for mankind to embrace. God's creation cannot be changed. This is surely the upright religion, but most do not know it. Turn to him and fear him. Be steadfast in prayer and serve no other gods besides him. Do not divide your religion into sects, each exalting in its own doctrines. And when a misfortune befalls people, they turn in prayer to their Lord, but no sooner does he let them taste a blessing from himself than some among them take up other gods besides their Lord, showing no gratitude for what we gave them. Take your pleasure now, and you shall learn. Have we revealed to them a sanction in joining them to serve idols? And when we give people the taste of a good thing, they rejoice in it, but when evil befalls them through their own fault, they grow despondent. Do they not see that God gives abundantly to whom he will, and sparingly also? Surely there are signs in this for true believers. Therefore give their due to the next of kin, to the destitute, and to the traveler in need. That is best for those that strive to please God. Such men will surely prosper. People's wealth you seek to increase by usury will not increase in the sight of God. Usury, like the price to borrow money, like an interest rate. But the alms you give for the love of God shall be repaid many times over. Again, remember that usury thing is like kind of like a problem, especially when it's like kind of like the Jews, right? God it is who has created you and given you your daily bread. He will cause you to die hereafter and will then bring you back to life. Can any of your idols do the least of these? God forbid. Glory to him, and exalted be he above their false gods. Corruption is now manifest on land and at sea in consequence of what the hands of mankind did, that they may taste the fruit of what they did and mend their ways. Say, roam the earth and see what was the fate of those who came before you. The greater part of them worshipped idols. Therefore stand firm in your devotion to the upright religion before that day arrives, which none may put off against the will of God. On that day mankind will be parted in two. On that day mankind will be mankind will be parted in two, like separated. The unbelievers shall answer for their unbelief, and the righteous will have done well for themselves. For then he will of his bounty recompense those who have believed and done good works. He does not love the unbelievers. By another of his signs he sends the winds as bearers of good tidings, so that he may give you a taste of his mercy, and that the ships may sail at his bidding, so that you may seek his bounty and render thanks. We sent before you apostles to their peoples, and they brought them veritable signs. We took vengeance on those who sinned and rightly succored the true believers, like helped. God it is who drives the winds that stir the clouds. He spreads them as he will in the heavens and breaks them up so that you can see the rain falling from their midst. When he sends it down on such of his servants as he chooses, behold, they are elated with joy, though before its coming they had lost all hope. Behold then the tokens of God's mercy, how he resurrects the earth after its death. It is he who will surely resurrect the dead. He has power over all things. That's interesting. He resurrects the earth after its death. That's analogous to like he destroys, like he resets the earth, right? He destroys the earth, but he like he doesn't he kills everything on it, but he allows it to thrive again. Yet if we let loose a searing wind and they beheld their crops turn yellow, they would after that persist in unbelief. You surely cannot make the dead hear you, nor can you make the deaf hear your call if they turn their backs and pay no heed. Nor can you guide the blind out of their error. None shall give ear to you save those who believe in our revelations and are now Muslims. God creates you weak. After weakness, he gives you strength. So God creates you weak. After weakness, he gives you strength. And after strength, infirmity and gray hairs. He creates whatever he will. He is the omniscient, the almighty. On the day the hour strikes, the wrongdoers will swear that they have lingered but 1 hour. Thus are they ever deceived. But those to whom knowledge and faith have been given will say, you lingered there as God ordained till the day of resurrection. This is the day of resurrection, yet you did not know it. On that day their pleas shall not avail the wrongdoers, nor shall they be asked to make amends. In this Quran we have set forth for people all manner of arguments. Yet if you retire, no. Yet if you recite to them a single verse, the unbelievers will surely say, you preach nothing but falsehoods, thus God seals the hearts of the ignorant. Like no matter what you say to them, they're not going to believe. Therefore have patience, God's promise is true. Let not those who disbelieve drive you to despair. It's funny. What was this one called again? The Greeks of Byzantium. It's like he was writing to them, huh? Like we know the Persians defeated you. It says the Greeks have been defeated in a neighboring land, but in a few years they shall themselves gain victory, such being the will of God before and after. Because they were like Christians, right? So like so he's getting from the same God, right? It's the same God. It's the same God from the I guess the Jesus book and the books of Moses for the Torah, the Jewish. Anyway,